Hey everyone, welcome to the Triangle Hustle podcast, where life, hustle, and construction collide in the heart of California. I'm Lila, your PPE and safety expert.
I'm Rocio, saving you money with insurance and workers' comp.
And I'm Frank, for all your trash and disposal needs. Whether you're swinging hammers or closing deals, this show is built for those who want to level up in business and in life.
From the job side to the boardroom, we're bringing you real talk, real challenges, and our favorite real wins.
Thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Buenos dias.
¿Cómo están todos?
I'm doing well. A little sad because our co-host isn't here.
Yeah. So Rocio's not here today. She isn't
not
feeling well.
Yeah. She texted us this morning, said she might have caught a bug at one of these graduations because everybody's graduating.
Yeah.
Except some of my dumb cousins. But that's a different story. That's a different story altogether. But hey, shout out to Rocio. We miss you dearly. You're a big component to this thing that we're doing here. So hope you get better. We may or may not send you some soup. Don't know yet. Got to look at the budget first.
That's right. And Rocio, so condolences to Charlie's family. May his mother rest in peace. And we're sending you love.
Nothing but love and positive energy.
Exactly.
So
but you,
so we've been talking a lot, and we've been doing a lot.
We have,
and we've been engaging in safety and mental health awareness and all these other things, and we've kind of strayed away from the entrepreneurship and the construction and the things that make us us. So we kind of wanted to come back to that and sit down and go over some things and just real quickly give you a brief synopsis of what we've been doing, but what we're about to do and what we're getting into, right? Because there's a lot of things happening.
There's so much going on. Oh, absolutely. And there's so much going on just in the industry. We got these huge projects gearing up. So we're really happy to be, connected with the right people. We're ready to serve, we're ready to do our hustle so we can, get what we need built. Right, in response to our Olympics coming up.
So I think what a lot of people don't know is, and what they've been seeing is all these shows that have been airing, but a lot of people don't know that actually all the three of us share in the sense that we all revolve around construction.
Yep. You
on the safety side, Rosie on the insurance side, me on the most important trash side. A lot of trash is important.
It is.
You don't want that stuff to accumulate.
No, you don't.
But what we do behind the scenes, and we've been working very diligently, is help each other out. We open doors for each other. So sometimes there's a project like Burbank for example, the airport. I've been trying to knock on that door and knock it down and knock it over unsuccessfully. And that's rare for me because normally I'd bust through these things, but for whatever reason, I haven't gotten the opportunity. But then you and Rocio have been working behind the scenes, giving presentations and whatnot. And then a couple of weeks ago, guess what? My homies got me in. I'm not saying that I have the project, but again, that is just a testament to how we help each other out because obviously, we do the same. And then, my friends and what's that Biggie Smalls that you love so much?
I don't know. Friends. Don't quote me, but I think I want your friends to be my friends and so we can be friends.
Yeah, so we can all be friends.
Oh, there you go. So we can all be friends.
I think that's how it goes. I don't know. I have to look it up.
I love Biggie. How does it end? So
we could do this every
weekend?
No, we're going to do this every day of the week. Because on the weekends, my ass is resting. I don't know what you're doing. But
because you get up too fucking early.
I do get up too
4 a.m., guys. Really?
Hey, you know what? I'm doing a lot of things right now.
I know you are.
I'm doing a lot of things.
I'm very proud of you.
No, I'm very proud of you too.
I want to improve. You make me want to be better.
Oh, that's probably one of the best compliments I've gotten all week.
Yes.
That one and the photographer yesterday, you've done this before, and I was like, I'm not going to tell you where or how or when.
You've done what? The picture taking before?
Yeah, but I think she was just saying that to make me feel better. I don't know.
Well, it's because you look great.
Oh, thank you.
So you lost how many pounds?
I went from 204 to 175.
See, that's good weight. And, estás bien ponchadito. So it's not like I'm sick weight. It's like...
It's the jujitsu because shit's getting real out on these streets.
It's true.
And if I ever decide to join the protesters, I'm gonna have to maybe get one of these law enforcement officials off of me.
I don't think I'm gonna join the protesters because, I
don't
already
think
have a
so.
felony. I'm not getting no more trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, maybe not.
But
Maybe
before we get
maybe
into
for my
that,
house.
because we are going to touch on that a little bit, we got the Burbank thing going.
Yes,
We have more Skanska work going.
absolutely.
We have some stuff happening in the airport.
Yes.
And it's okay if our competitors are out there listening, because you definitely don't have the contacts we do. And you definitely don't have our amazing characteristics. And what
everything's
we-
fair in what? Business and life or
Yeah,
whatever.
all's
And
good and love and whatever,
yes,
right?
competition is good for
And,
you.
the thing about competition is good competition makes you better.
True.
Yeah.
Yes,
There's
even amongst each other salespeople,
Yeah.
it keeps them hungry or
does.
competitive. So I just learned that. I don't do
Yeah.
it, but I'm gonna. Yeah,
competition is great, especially in the realm of sales. It is great. I compete all the time.
Do you?
I tell
Yeah.
myself, you're not as good as me. You never will be. But it's good to aspire.
right.
It's good to aspire.
You know,
to
you
do
bring me
things.
back to a memory.
Yeah.
First company I ever worked for, girl, right? Latina girl, fuck it, 35 years ago. So, of course, it was like, this girl ain't going to do shit, right? So, there was a number one sales guy. His name was Art Stein, who has his own business, who's doing very well. And he used to say, you'll never catch up to me, blah, blah, blah. And lo and behold, my husband as my witness is I beat him not once, twice, 3 times in a row, right?
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, it was just, it's true.
Yeah. I was great at one time in my life.
You
When I was
still
at Republic
are.
Services. I still am, but now it's more like Yoda status. It's like,
Like
Yoda.
leader?
I actually had this conversation with someone. I told the other day, I told her, I said, I no longer want to be the best trash man. And she was like, why? I said, because I already am.
Another glass to break, right?
Yeah.
The,
She's
the
like, well,
next
what are you
level.
going to do now? Now I think I want to be more on the helpful side.
Helpful?
Helpful. Like help people. in all
Yeah, help
aspects.
people be good
Yeah.
at it.
'Cause I've always trained a lot of salespeople, and I've always said, I've been a salesperson all my life, and now I get the great opportunity to make less money and lead people. Why someone would listen to me, I have no idea. But when it comes to trash, they should. But in all other aspects, maybe not so much. But
I listen to you. You got some good advice.
I do, and I tell them all the time. I said, I've done stupid shit, so you don't have to.
Very good point.
I've knocked on some doors and made myself the used car salesman and the nonstop. What's going on? I just wanted to follow up. That's so stupid. I wanted to follow up. But, I try and tell them, this is how you should do it, because when I used to do it, it didn't work for me. And the people that listen, they're still successful to this day. Shout out to Omar Nunez and Sandy Nunez out there, good friends of mine. Omar worked with me for a while, and he always sends these texts, "Hey man, you're a good boss." So I'm like, oh,
Really? Oh, I want people to say that to me. Like I said, I was been doing the hustle for Safety Vibe for 20 years and got lucky to find Chuck and Sam last year. Yeah. But for me, I'm in a shift. Where, like you said, I'm now not just a hungry hustler. Now I want to help so that they can make as much money as they can. Mind you, it's a tough shift for me because I've been a salesperson pretty much since I've been, since a kid. And now to fulfill the, more the sales manager part, I'm working on it for sure. Every day. And it's funny how it has to start almost like in my head first, because otherwise I go back to the usual, who's going to be the new homie today, where am I going? And but you're going to be a good teacher for me for that.
Absolutely.
Just to let you know.
I think that knowledge is power, and you should share, right? Especially with the right person. Obviously, there's people out there who want to know the tricks of the games in order to take you out. But I mean, when you do things with good intentions, I think the possibility of that happening kind of go down, or the percentages of that happening. So for me, I'm an open book, and most of the people that I network with, most of the women that are out there, and they'll call me at 4 a.m. Can you come fly your drone? And I'll be like, yes.
Oh, really?
Course. Yeah.
See, honey, you'll get calls. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say
but don't get all celosa like,
never,
hey, Chris.
Never.
Where are you going with that drone?
You think we got celoso?
Where are you going with that drone?
You never know.
Yeah. But I think when you help
women get
people,
older, we get insecure.
No. You got a good man. You got a good man.
I do.
But I think helping people you kind of help yourself too.
100%.
You know,
In every
and just
aspect.
being of service, right? Especially us right now, what we're going through, because a lot of people don't know, Lila and I are like on this spiritual journey.
Yes.
And things happen for a reason, and that's what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
And then we have to associate that with everything that we do in life, which is business also.
Yes.
And so we're kind of doing that. So we're like working on all kinds of things, working
Yes.
on ourselves, and then working on business, and then just driving. That's nonstop.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
But that's why we get that extra energy, you know, they say on
That's
from
why
the
we get along,
spiritual
right?
side. I think
Because
so.
Rocio's the exact same way.
Yes.
Shout out again to Rocio.
To Rocio, yes.
And she pushes us. And you know, I've noticed one thing like this morning when someone's like a little falling behind, and the other one's like, nah, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go do this. And that's so important in our lives. So
So talking about the spiritual journey, because I was honored to be with you when you baptized last Sunday. So it's a week tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think that's always amazing. And what was very moving for me to be there is it was Pentecost Sunday,
Yeah.
right? And when they're talking about how before Jesus left, right, he says, look, I got to leave, but I'm going to leave you a helper, okay?
Yeah.
And it's the Holy Spirit. So there's something. So that means he left us something, right? And to understand it, it's almost like you have to have, like they said Sunday, you have to have a full surrender, right? So this Holy Spirit can work in you, and now all of a sudden you're doing shit that, like, man, addiction being one or whatever, you know, and then you're helping others. So
yeah, because I've always struggled with that aspect, right? And then there was always the last 2 weeks have been very enlightening for me. And you know, people might talk shit like, get out of here, fool. But honestly, if you know what I've been through and what I've seen in the last 2 weeks are something miraculous, something crazy. Because truth be told, I've always had like this giant void and nothing could fill it, you know, relationships, money, whatever. I've always been a good worker. I've always had success, but I was lacking something. And then my past trauma and all this stuff. And then this recently, what I went through, I don't know, something inside me was just like, there's got to be more. There has to be more. And then we did the podcast, and then working back with my sponsor, and then you had those incredible ladies on the show. And then that just kind of led to everything. So fast forward Monday, I'm joining this new men's group. Shout out to Aaron Valverde.
and Valerie Valverde.
And Valerie Valverde. And I meet this amazing man. Wakes up as early as I do. He's a little older than me, not by that much. But lifts more weight than I do, works out harder than I do. And I'm like, wait a minute, man. But, you know, my awakening.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I've
So-
met Mr. Aaron. That's
Successful. And
generous. We
Generous,
went, because I went to the recovery for women meeting. So I went with you on Sunday, or, you know, and then it was Monday. And after the meeting, right? Because you guys are on the guy's side, and he's the last one there. You want some pizza? You want some water? Just tan servicial, you know, like, and like you said, has a successful business, so you know he's got money.
Yeah.
But there he is, serving.
all day long, every day.
All day. Yeah.
That Tuesday of last week, 2 weeks ago, you know, this is me. I just met him that Monday, and then on Tuesday I'm in his office, and we're having like a 2-hour chat, and that was my awakening. So I'm sitting in this man who I've never met before, and I'm crying like a little.
Really?
And then just things took off, and I started happening, and I gave in, and I'm full, and I'm all in now.
It's funny how you said 2-hour chat. Imagine, and all that was coming out of you that was making you
Oh
cry.
man, we're not gonna talk
all-
about that
No, we
because I
won't.
still
But
have
I'm just
to
saying that's
keep
why
a
I
certain
believe.
sense of like, hey, this dude's still chingon.
No, you are chingon,
Yeah,
but that
you know,
doesn't mean
because-
you.
And that's
you
for all
don't
my
have,
haters out there, because I know you're watching. But by the way, the jiu-jitsu's going great. So if y'all want,
Yeah, I hate jujitsu.
yeah.
I shouldn't say I hate it. I tried it, but they were all dudes
But
that
that
I
was
was
for the
fighting
haters
with.
too. Like, yeah, like I just want them to know that I know like 37 chokeholds.
Do you?
And even though I'm a Christian now and I'm a man of God,
I will protect myself.
I will protect
and my
those
familia
and my
and
family,
friends.
my
That's
homies.
damn
So
right.
you know, come get some.
Shit.
Yeah.
I told you the story that we were doing jujitsu, blah, blah, but it was all guys and me. And we bought the gi and all that.
Because it was the sweat, right?
Ooh,
Yeah,
I got a drop in my mouth and it was
But that builds
over.
your immune system.
It was
Now
over.
it's like, that's why
fucking
you
like,
But
and I
that's
don't
why.
even think it was my husband's spit. I think it was like the other dude.
But that's why you survived COVID.
No.
You got all this.
I threw that gi like that gi.
Oh man.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
We bought the fucking chingaderas for the floor, dude, so you don't get hurt, those
Yeah.
cushy things.
Yeah.
Nothing was cheap. Nah, hombre.
Nothing is cheap anymore.
No, I'm
Everything's
sure.
going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots going on in the world.
Yes.
Let's bring it back.
Okay.
It back. So, yeah, construction, all that is great. But, this deportation thing, this massive deportation thing, that in
Streets
relation,
are a little empty.
a lot empty. So
People are a little nervous.
I'm sure it's
and they should be.
affecting your business because it's definitely affecting mine. And I'm about to tell you how.
Tell me.
So I've been this whole week in my site visits because I still go out there. I'm not just a desk jockey, I'm the kind of guy that likes to keep my
Under the metiche.
Yeah,
But
I
in a
love
good
the
way.
cheese man. I love the cheese man. I go to the job sites. I'm like, let me see your business card. Food. Did Marisol come out here?
Yeah.
Because I want to see.
Yeah.
But I do go out there and I engage and I talk and we have a lot of friends, business owners, superintendents. We do, and they call and they chat and we've experienced the projects are not gone. They're still ongoing. They're just not moving as they were because obviously a lot of people are afraid. And even people who have everything that they need to be in this country, they just happen to be, of Latin descent and maybe they don't speak English as much as we do, but they have all their certifications, all their registrations, they're legally here. But one of the superintendents was sharing with me that he lost his entire concrete division, which has been vetted and they're good to go. But they don't want to come to work because they don't want to be mistreated. They don't want to go through that.
Even though they've got
Though they belong here, even though they know, they're still afraid. And that made no sense to me. I mean, it made sense to me, but it's just unfair that people are so afraid that they're staying home, not earning money, and not, jeopardizing their well-being and putting food on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not a big news guy. I don't sit there and watch the news because I don't want to be depressed. And the news, what you see and what you hear, you don't know what to kind of believe anymore.
But I mean, spend 5 minutes on your phone and you're going to see something that's just exaggerated, unfair. I saw something where the woman was actually, I think, at her immigration appointment. And the guys were outside, so she's in the process and they were taking her and she was like, my kids are at school, please don't take me. And that just is not unfair. It's not right. How are you going to go and you're going to do that? You're targeting that. Why would you do that? These are people that are doing it right. Or like they say, the Home Depots or the alleys are empty, and it's like, well, nobody's gonna, people don't feel safe.
And that's the thing, right? You mentioned the word targeting. Like for me, when I jumped into the rabbit hole and I started looking at all this social media, all these posts and everything that are, the people that they're going after, I feel, in my personal opinion, that it wasn't planned to say we're going after everybody. It is very specific to me, at least from what I see. They are targeting one group because, they're going to the Home Depots, the Vallartas. They hit my car wash where I take my truck. They hit my dry cleaning place. But what I'm trying to say is that the places that they're hitting, obviously, are full of Latinos, our brothers and sisters. Because I'm not watching any South Africans being deported or any Ukrainians
or too
being
many
deported. At least not from what I see.
Just,
and that made me feel some sort of way because normally I would avoid subjects like this altogether.
Right.
Because I just don't like to be in the mix, right? And another thing is because I'm not at the forefront knowledge-wise of what really is going on.
Same. Yeah.
I don't sit in a political office or
Same.
anything.
Well, I will say.
By the way, I am going to run for mayor.
Oh.
But that's a different story.
Well, another thing that I still don't agree with either, because you always have your bad apples, and then you have the violence part and the looting part and all that part. So, you know, I don't like violence. I believe in peaceful protest. I believe in law and order. And so if I see a video where somebody's burning the American flag and waving the Mexican flag, that doesn't make me happy either. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm Latina. Yeah, I am an American. And if the last thing I'm going to do is burn my flag and put my Mexican one up.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just, there's the, the emotional part of the unfairness and all that. Yes, but I don't know. And then, again, with the exaggerated response, right? With, our president. Happy birthday, president.
Is it his birthday?
Isn't it?
Is it his birthday today?
Yes.
I don't know. Oh,
Yes.
man, it's his birthday.
And it's the anniversary of the Army. 250 years to our servicemen in
Shout
the
out
Army.
to my brother. Thank you for serving.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So going back, that also, I don't know. I'm not happy with that.
Makes you
kind
feel
of
a certain kind of way, right?
either.
Because to your point, yeah, we're American. And I'm a strong believer that, we gotta follow the American way, and we gotta do things that are right for this country. But things that are right for this country, is this right for our country? In my opinion,
exaggerated.
a little more than exaggerated. And then I see all sides, because I was getting a haircut, and my barber, he has law enforcement that are his clients, and one of them was there, and he's like, you know what, guys? Worst part is, I'm over there trying to help. I'm over there trying to keep the protests safe. And I get shot at. I'm not ICE. I am not immigration. I am here for you, and you're going to pick up a weapon and shoot at me. Why? I'm just trying to make sure you get home.
Yeah.
So, the confusion and the unrest and the things that are happening are not good for anybody.
Right.
Not good for anybody. Not good for the public safety.
Right.
Community, right?
Yeah.
So, and we were talking about community and how making people aware. And I think Jordan brought up the fact that the community is keeping the community safe, because they're giving information to people who need it, and kind of, hey, they're over here, or acá los vi, and maybe you should stay away from here and that. But that being said, I personally want to keep yourselves informed.
Yeah. Well, and I wish I was a little more informed, but I did see that the president said, we're going to protect the farmers, workers, right?
Yeah.
He gives a example of all these farmers that have these workers that have been there for 25 years. They're great workers. They love their workers, and the what is it called, leisure, the hotels and all that, because they ain't got nobody coming to work. And now who knows if his homies with money are like, dude. Yeah. And now he's like, well, let me try, because. Yeah, but we got to kind of remember, and I don't even know if I should say this, but our president, he's his business style. Like my business style, I would like to say is win-win. I win, you win. Right. We're gonna do some business. His is more like win, lose, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So it's a horrible style, but some people have that, and he's a bully, right? So he sees these things, and he's like, I'm gonna go in there, and I'm gonna send the military, and who cares what Newsom says or whatever that is, right? And we see this response like, what the fuck? Yeah. Some people that love it are like, hey, pero nosotros Latinos are like, hey, what's going on here? Really? Like, gee.
And in that aspect, do what's good for business and what's going to drive and put more money in people's pockets. That's good. I'm a strong believer that if you're going to do that, fine. If you're going to do this other shit, not so fine. Because I'm a strong believer in win-win too. I saw the same speech, and I was happy because, I love cherries. And it is my favorite fruit. I can't wait for cherry season. I'll drive the fucking Oxnard to get my
really?
ass,
I'll come with you.
Like a case of cherries.
Yeah, I like
and
cherries. And
not just
too.
The regular dark ones. I like the Bing ones, and I'll go to Costco, stock up. I'll eat 10 bowls in a day if I could. That's why I'm fat. But I don't want to see produce go up. People are having a hard time as it is. And I don't want to see people taken away.
Yeah.
I went to one of my favorite...
but it's not even just so much about the produce. It's the people, the
economy altogether.
Yes.
Yeah. They're leaving their children.
Yeah, it's not a happy subject at all. It's hard to watch. It's just, it's sickening, actually.
But there is good news since Lila and I are all spiritual now.
Right. What would Jesus do?
What would Jesus do?
Situations.
So we're going to pray. We're going to pray on
Oh.
that. We're going to continue to pray. Not right now.
Oh,
Calm
I thought you were
down,
going to pray
calm
right
down.
now.
Not right. No, I do my praying.
Later, Lord. Later, not right now.
On my hands and knees in the comfort of my own home.
Oh, and your hands
church.
and knees.
Well, yeah, you don't get on, especially
Sometimes. Actually, when
my
my Christopher left me, I was on my knees.
Yeah. But I do wish that things get better. And then you have on the other side of the world more bad things going on.
Oh, yes. Tanto pedo going on locally, like you just said.
Tanto pedo going on locally when it's affecting all of us because people aren't working. The construction sites are like half staffed.
And what about the other side of the world?
And then the other side of the world, you got the pedo between Israel and Iran. And again, I tend not to watch the news, but you called me yesterday and you were like, watch the news and get depressed. And I'm like, okay.
No, I just said we should probably see what's going on there because even biblically, that's some serious shit going on over there. So we should probably keep up with what. Yes.
So I listened to you. Like your faithful representative here at the Triangle Hustle would do, and I regret it because I couldn't sleep last night after I saw what I saw. What's scary? 100 missiles hitting targets. Iran hasn't responded yet, at least not to my knowledge.
They did
of this morning. Did they?
Yep.
Okay, and so see, where's this going to take us?
Well, they were saying that Israel went in and bombed their nuclear site, right? So why would they have a nuclear site? I thought we weren't doing those things.
No, I think a little bit ago they asked them to seize all that nuclear activity, and their movement forward to creating a nuclear arsenal or whatever it is that they have planned, and they said, "Chale," they're like, "We ain't gonna listen to you folks. We're gonna do what we gonna do."
Well, look at what happened though.
And now
they bombed that, killed like some of their top officials, and they're like nuclear scientists.
They don't play around.
They don't. The
Israelis don't play around, man. That's somebody I wouldn't pick a fight with.
No, but wait. But so how does that affect us, right? So they were saying that I think the U.S., when Iran did respond, that our missiles, whatever, catch them and protect them. So then Iran probably going to be like, okay, ¿pa qué se meten? Or why are you guys? Well, but I don't understand government and how all that works. But I think we're on Israel's side.
Well, yeah, we always have been. And Chris mentioned earlier that that Iran put out a statement saying that they're gonna target our military bases and whatnot. So it's gonna affect us.
I think we already ya sacamos a todos.
Like the threats, and then the people that serve. Obviously, they'll get deployed. They'll leave their families, and then. I don't know. Yeah. It's just messy all around.
People started on the little end, right? World War III. I heard it like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, oh, let me go to sleep better.
Right. So
I
just,
scary because, I haven't read my Bible lately, but I remember because I was a Jehovah's Witness for a really long time.
What?
Yeah. And they study kind of the book like a science book, right? Real detailed. They don't have everything right, but in my opinion, but I do remember something like when they referred to the last days, they were like, when you start seeing shit go down in Israel, be prepared, like something big.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm always like, oh, what's going on over there?
Jehovah's Witnesses trip me out. And I remember this thing I saw, I think it was George Carlin. And he's like, did you know that Jehovah's Witnesses only believe that a certain amount of people are going to make it into heaven?
They do believe that.
And yet they're at your door every weekend trying to talk you into that shit. And if you knew only like a few people were going to make it, wouldn't you want to keep that shit a secret? Right? You would. Like, hey, man, only a few of us. Like, if it was us in this room, and I'm like, only 3 of us are going to make it into heaven, I wouldn't tell anybody.
I wouldn't tell the 4th one in the room.
I wouldn't tell the 4th one. I'd be like, hey, homie, well, it was nice knowing you. I'll see you around sometime. Yeah. I'll be up there. I don't know where you're going to be. But,
Well, down here, that's the other belief. We are, forever is here, just in better conditions, right?
But yeah, so much going on in this world. And hey, I know I'm new into the spiritual thing, but I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray on it, and I'm I'm going to try and stay positive, and I'm going to continue to wake up every day, put on my work boots, and go out there and hustle, because I think that's all we can do, right?
Yes.
Because one of the things we've learned is to control the situations that are perfectly within our control.
Yes.
And give the rest to God.
Yes.
But that's what I'm on. That's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
I'm going to be a good boy.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm trying not to do sinful things like the concha I just ate.
Oh,
But
so real quick, because like I said, I went on Monday to the recovery thing, and it's the 12-step thing. So again, I've been sober, I think almost 10 years.
Yeah.
But I never did the 12 steps.
oh, you're in for a treat.
Oh, so I'm not gonna lie. When I went and I was, reading. I mean, the first few seem easier is when you get down the line. And I'm like,
wait till you get to the 4th and the 5th and the 6th and the 7th. I'm on the 8th.
that's good. You know what? Like you say, you got to challenge yourself to be better, but.
You know, one of the things that I've learned a long time ago is, and this is in all aspects, not just religion, not just addiction. This is, put yourself in situations you are completely uncomfortable in, and do it often, and do it even though your body's telling you, I don't want to be in this shit. Do it, because it's going to make you a better person.
Yeah.
So for a guy like me, I'm okay with doing dumb shit. I am okay with doing dumbass shit, and but it comes from a good place. So I do put, I'm full in on this whole religion thing and on the steps, and the step work this time around with the spiritual component. It's made a world of difference. But I've also, doing the amount of reading that I'm doing the amount of work that I'm doing with the group, because I'm hitting it on both sides. I got the AA component and I got the Christian component. So my step work looks kind of like this sheet, and it's like full of stuff. And did you know that the average person has like 194 character defects?
The average person?
The
Really?
average, yeah.
I'm not average,
I
so
shit you not.
shit, I'm gonna be writing for days.
And then when people start telling you, you have flies in here.
Well, because you brought the bun.
Probably, yeah. Blame it on me. Blame it on me. But so we'll get it. But we got something else to talk about. But let's finish this one first. So that's but doing the steps now for me, they're completely different. Number one, I'm being a lot more honest, and I'm bringing up shit that I've never brought up before. And I recognize, because my sponsor helps me recognize. I got 2 fucking sponsors.
Shit, well, who told you to get 2?
I got 2, and I got 2 motherfuckers out there like, nah, dog, no, you're not perfect, homie. Check this out. And I got that on the AA side, and then I got the other dude like, hey, fool, check it out. Yeah. You it's good that you're close with God, but you gotta put in some more work.
Oh,
it says work.
Okay.
But anyway, what you're gonna find is when you start going through them, it's hard, but you're just like me. You're a hard worker. You're get into your shit. So eventually you're gonna be like, this is enlightening, and this is more of a release.
I think so, because I feel like nervous, to be honest,
I felt
to think
the same
about
way.
it. And I read them.
Yeah.
And but then I thought, things that are hard, there's always a good reward, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I'm going to approach the whole thing. Is I'm going to keep thinking about the reward as I deal with this little anxiety that I'm feeling.
And you're doing it through the spiritual side, which is, you remember what Valerie said. When you're doing these things, and you're doing them for yourself, but you involve the spiritual side, your percentages of being better, like 80%, percentages of getting through whatever, are much more higher.
Yeah.
And I think that's super important.
Well, you know what was like a boom to me is when she said, there's certain parts of our traumas, and when I think about the 12-step and the, what do you call it, the chaos that you create, those around you, especially of course, who your family is like the main one.
Yeah.
Certain traumas only get healed is if you say it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah. No, it's true.
This whole thing, saying it to somebody else,
Yeah.
which is I forget what's the step, but yeah, that's gonna be great, because I'm hoping that not only am I gonna feel better, but my loved ones are gonna benefit too.
And wait till you get where I'm at. So now I have a list, right? Because I've already forgiven myself twice through the program, and obviously through Christianity.
Twice.
When I got dunked, I got in the dunk tank, and
yes.
when I attended the wet T-shirt contest last week.
At least it wasn't white.
At least it wasn't white, because who wants to see all this? But so I've forgiven myself, and in that now I can ask for forgiveness from the chaos that I created, from the people that I've hurt or whatever. Funny thing is, like the person that was more impactful in my drinking or the relationship that I went through, I always felt like I abandoned a sort of a stepchild that I had. And last time I saw him, he was like 8 years old on a couch, and I was leaving to Mexico, and he told me, "No, leave, Dad," and he called me Dad, and that shit fucking ate me alive. It was part of why I was doing what I was doing. So recently, in the last couple of weeks, the dude hits me up on Instagram.
The kid?
He's all graduated high school and stuff, and it turns out that it wasn't an abandonment.
A coincidence.
He gets it, and we're Instagram friends now.
How old is he now?
He's just graduated. He's got to be 18.
18.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the power of getting right with God, the power of getting right with your spirit, the power of because you start doing these things, you're gonna notice.
Well, what's the coincidence that you feel you have a reconciliation there, and then the guy Instagrams you like, okay, there you go, son.
Like, here you
do
go.
Your thing.
It's like God saying,
"Do your reconcile."
All right. I'm starting to believe that you're all in on this thing, so I'm gonna start giving you little things here and there. So here you go. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you
Yeah.
go. Here
Yeah.
you go. So, and then I ultimately believe that the plan is this: continue to work hard. Don't ever leave my ass again, and you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. You lost some shit. You might have not lost some shit. You're gonna get back with what you're owed, and then some. But
times
keep
10,
working
times
fucking
100,
hard.
depends.
Keep working hard. Don't be watching no cochino shit. Don't be doing no cochino shit.
What do you
keep
mean?
Keep your mind right. Keep your mind right. Keep, But yeah, I think, and you're on the same journey, and that means a lot. And Rocio, a lot of people, she's a Christian, and she's
a newly.
Yeah.
Newly. I don't know how many years, but newly.
I think
so
2
Rocio
years.
has a.
Yeah, so she's ahead of the game when it comes to.
Well, but she's still a little bit in her infancy of that, but there's a lot to process. You know how she says it's a journey and it's a process.
But the coincidences and how we all gravitated and how we're all here and how we're doing this and how it helped us out on our own journey and how we're working together to be the best at what we do, which I strongly believe that we are, and how it all coincides and how it's all been impactful. That's just some crazy ass shit.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't happen. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to end with this. Check it out, because I had to take a picture of it.
Oh.
And it is a quote from somebody, but it says, "Put your heart, mind, and soul into even your smallest acts. Mm-hmm. This is the secret of success."
It is. It is. You got
Swami Sivandana.
Oh,
that was his quote.
All right. But let's get back. One last thing.
Okay, one last thing.
And that we're super excited about. The wonderful Chris Moss. Shout out to Chris Moss over there.
That's right.
He is retiring, and it's so sad to see him go because he's been impactful too on this journey. So a gentleman that I met, and I was actually on his podcast, one of my first ever podcast, and we had so much fun, and we met for just that day. And so it turns out that he had some equipment that we ended up purchasing from his podcast.
And he gave us a killer deal. Thank you, Chris.
It wasn't so killer, Chris. You could have fucking done better. You damn shark.
Well, you're going to train us and make us better. So
I hope that first
the value's
hotel
there, Chris. The value's there.
I hope that first hotel you guys stay at on your retirement charges you an insanely ungodly amount of money just to put chocolates on your fucking pillow. But you could have done better, but we'll take it all day. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Thank you so much for what you did for us. And he's going to be here next Saturday. We're going to plug in. So what I'm trying to say is we're getting an upgrade.
We're leveling up, guys. We are leveling up.
We are, because like we talked about, we're all in.
We are all in.
And we talked about this morning, right?
Yes.
Because even though Rocio's feeling some kind of way, the show must go on.
That's right.
And that is because someone made a comment last week talking about what happened to your show on Thursday. We didn't see shit. So that ain't gonna happen no more. We're gonna be consistent as we can be, and we're gonna drive this thing through. So the investment has been made because that's how serious we are.
Yes, we are.
And we're just
wait till you guys see our new stuff. It's gonna be kind of cool.
And Jordan and Chris are gonna have a field day with it.
It's gonna be like new toys for them.
Yeah, and we're all gonna get to learn something new, and we're all gonna take this to the next level and continue to do it. Whether we have 1 viewer, 2 viewers, 3 viewers, or whatever, we're just gonna we're gonna ride it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah. And since we're going to be such a official, fully equipped podcast room, if any of you guys want to do a podcast, we'll come and check out, the setup, and maybe we can help each other out.
Yeah, studio time, ROI, return on your investment. Yeah, hey,
we're givers here, so don't think we're out to make millions. We just, if you got something to say, you want to start your little podcast, let's talk.
Yeah. Hit us up in the weeks to come, because obviously, it's all about giving people opportunities, like Chris passing the torch to us,
yes.
and then we continue.
We are givers here.
We are.
We are go givers.
Yeah,
and we're go getters.
We're not going to be the cheapest, not going to be the most expensive, but we'll be right there.
Yeah, the value will be there. Promise.
And you got to bring coffee for everybody and conchas, but that. And then we got some more guests coming in, potentially next week on our next episode. I think we're having some a subcontractor that's working on the fires.
Yes.
PRC.
There you go. Our
PRC.
friend Freddie.
Ediberto
is his
I think
name.
I met him on a hike one day. Marketing guy, videographer type dude. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So those two gentlemen are going to be here. We have a slew of questions with regards to the fires. We're looking forward to meeting you.
A whole nother story there.
Yeah, talking about your marketing and stuff like that. Good friends with Rocio. She knows everybody.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. And then we're going to have some funny people down the line, because one of the things we also don't want you guys to think is that we're taking ourselves too serious.
Oh, no.
Spiritual.
We don't want to be boring. We want you guys to be laughing your ass off in your car.
We're going to be laughing your
or
ass
crying
off. Because
or
after
whatever.
that, we're going to have like Crystal from the Kaya group, and she's just sailor mouth all the way. Sailor mouth, and she's,
like her.
and
all sailor
and the beautiful
mouths
Marisol is going to be on the
esa
show
es otra.
with
Another
Crystal.
favorite.
So that one might have a different rating. I don't know, Jordan, are we rating these? Because we should start PG-13, rated R,
That's a good idea.
NC-17, X.
X.
I don't know. These two, I don't know. I don't even want to be in the room.
Oh, come on.
Because, Mr. Aaron might be like, hey, step away from that.
We'll let our audience be the judge of that.
Right?
But
No, just kidding. We're all adults. This is geared for adults. I mean, we're not going to have any kiddie shows that I know about, but that's happening. So a lot of things are happening. So continue to tune in, because you're going to start getting the realism. You're going to start getting the entrepreneurship. You're going to start getting our sales advice. We're going to start sharing with you what makes us dynamic in every aspect. Rocio's going to share with you what makes her dynamic. Lila's going to share with you how she created this business and how it's thriving, how it's successful. I'm going to give you some advice on how to close deals, because some of you don't know how to close deals.
True.
But that's all going to change, because Daddy's got you, and
come
and
see us. We've got some great advice.
Yeah.
We've been doing this a long time.
And if you're following us on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, don't be afraid to reach out. I've been getting a lot of hits by smaller companies that do the same thing I do. My advice is there. If you guys need anything, if you're a salesperson out there that's struggling, if you're struggling with anything that we've talked about, drop us a DM, drop us a message. If you want to know more about the show, let us know. Reach out to Rocio, reach out to Lila, reach out to myself. We're here to help. And that's the biggest thing that we're trying to do.
Yes.
So we're here for you guys, and a lot of other shit.
Yeah.
And because
all love, guys. Come back to see us next time.
Yeah.
And give us a follow, a like, and a thumbs up.
And a share.
And tell your friends.
Thanks for listening to the Triangle Hustle podcast. If you like what you heard, please give us a follow, a like, and a share with anyone who might be interested in hustling with us. Leave us a comment. Let us know what other subjects you'd like the Triangle to cover. We'll see you next time.